Hello and welcome to the World Championship Racing Series for the second round of the championship. I'm Tom Cairns in the commentary box giving you the details for tonight's event. One round has been contested so far, Bahrain last week, where we saw Jensen R12 come away as the race winner ahead of his teammate Seriak for McLaren, but neither of them are involved in tonight's event as far as we know. So it's a chance for those further behind in the championship to make up some ground. Particularly Nexus Susbando and Nexus Cuts are in there. You've got Forza Ferrari as well, Dan 990SD. There'll be some of those who will most definitely be going for pole position in this session, and possibly for the race win shortly afterwards. So it's an 18-minute qualifying session that will determine the grid. So just wait to see drivers go out onto the racetrack. With it being a longer circuit here at Spa, we do expect to see the drivers making their way out onto the racetrack. Now, I can imagine with now there is one driver who's gone out onto the racetrack. Let's pick up on Sean Reynolds in the Alfa Romeo. He was classified 8th in the final reckoning. Looking to go better here at Spa. He crashed out with 3 laps to go, but completed enough laps to be classified. I reckon a few of these drivers will do their first laps on the mediums. As far as I know, whatever tyres they set their best times on, they will start on those for the race. Seven drivers out on the circuit. We'll wait for a few more to make their way out. Sean Reynolds will be the first driver to cross the finish line to begin his first flying lap. Now, Bracocco 2, Andriopoulos, Forza Ferrari and Susbando continuing to wait in the pits. And Sean Reynolds has gone for a spin as he's preparing to start his flying lap. That's not a good way to start it there, Sean. It's got going again anyway, but that'll cost him time. We'll stay with him for the time being. Lighting up the rear tyres as he tries to get the power down from last source. Onto the Camel Straight. Sean Reynolds will need to brake at a good point here. It's not bad. It wasn't the best line in the world, but managed to get the car turned into Les Combes. He went wide through Beau Rivage. Or Bruxelles, I should say. Not Beau Rivage. Coming through Bonchimon now. And he's exceeded the track limits, and that's his lap time invalidated, unfortunately, for Sean Reynolds. Continues had his time invalidated. We've got a racing point. Here he's on a lap. We should see the first time of this session. DRS wide open. And Gary Elgin hosts the first time of the session so far. Nexus Cats is the next one to go over the line. I think this one's going to be quicker. It is. It's a 1:42.3, more than 2 seconds faster than Gary Elgin. Continues had his lap time invalidated. Dan 99 SD goes third fastest on a 46.2. Nearly 4 seconds off the pace. Gravity and G-Dan 25 are next. Gravity goes into the pits. G-Dan continues on. He will complete his lap. And he will go second fastest on a 43.7. So it's advantage Nexus Cats. Fastest by 1.3 seconds over G-Dan in second place. And Suspando has just started his flying lap. He's on the medium compound. Got through a Rouge, okay. .3 in sector 1. Going through Pouon into the chicane towards campus, and coming through Stavelo. What is this lap time going to be for Suspando? We expect him to be within range of pole. He'll go third fastest on a 44.4. Baru Coco is his lap time invalidated. Forza Ferrari's on a flying lap. It's a 30.1 in sector 1, purple. And Sean Reynolds has gone for another spin, lighting up the rear tyres again. Just over 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Nexus Cats fastest ahead of G-Dan in second place, and it's Suspando in third. Gary Elgin is in fourth place. Dan 990 SD in 5th, and the last of those on lap times. 7 more drivers have yet to set up time so far. Forza Ferrari is the next one. He's gone purple in sector 2. He's got the McLaren of Bro Coco in front of him, who will surely get out of the way in the moment. There's a Ferrari coming up behind it now. Crosses the line to go second fastest on a 43.6. And Sean Reynolds has retired from the session, so clearly he's not going to set a time, which means he'll start at the back. Bro Coco going for another lap, it seems. Don't duke with me. He's had his time invalidated. And so has Coutinho, so no improvement there. So the next man to cross the line whose time is not invalidated is Brokoko. Just about keeps it within the track limits. Coming through Pouon. Testing stuff low nicely. Supposed to come through the fast left-hander of Blanchimont into the bus stop chicane. And Brokoko is going to go over the line here. DRS open, over the line he comes. 4 fastest on the 43.7, that's not a bad lap there from Brokoko. And don't dupe with me, as I think he was just getting out of the way of other drivers as they're coming out of the pits. Gary Elgin. Oh, he's nearly binned it there, has he? I think he's damaged the front. No, he's got away with it there, but he's ruined his lap. Either way. It says Katz beginning his second flying lap. And through sectors 1 to 29.9. It's gone purple. Looking to extend his advantage over everyone else in this session. Just trying to see who else is on the fast lap. Well, Gary Elgin, I think he's on an in lap. And Nexus Katz has gone for a spin at Pouon, and he's had his lap time invalidated, so no improvement for him. Down 990. SD looking to go quicker than before. On the mediums he's on. And Dan keep it within the track limits throughout this lap. It's a 30.3, 3/10 up from his previous best. Went wide in Rivage or Bruxelles. He didn't get the next corner particularly well done. Pouon not so bad. And was Le Fun. Let's see what his sector 2 time is like. I don't think it's particularly great, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's about the same as before on his previous time lapse, so I wonder if he'll come back into the pits. Let's get another set of tyres on. Now he's going to continue on. Don't think it's going to be quicker than before. No, it won't be. Stays 7th fastest. G-Dan's retired from the session as well, so the highest he can manage is 3rd in this session. Andriopoulos quick through Sector 2. He's one of those who's yet to set a time. 4 minutes to go. How close can he be to Nexus Cats? He probably won't be on pole, but he can most definitely get his Ferrari onto the front row. DRS wide open. He goes 5th fastest on a 43.9. Coutinho 2005 is also on a fast lap. So it's Nexus Cats and Forza Ferrari on the front row. Are we going to see any more improvements in the next few minutes? Continue 2005 needing to get a lap on the board here. It's not a very quick one. Nowhere near it. And he goes to 9th fastest. The Red Bull of Don't Dupe With Me. Another one of those yet to set a time. He'll be hoping to keep his car within the track limits this time. And Dan 990C is about to cross the line for a better lap than before. It's an improvement, which puts him 8th. But at least he's got a faster time than before, which means he can start on the mediums for the race. Don't Dupe With Me has gone purple through Sector 1. And Don't Dupe With Me has had his lap time invalidated, exceeding track limits, so he might as well back off and go again. Gary Elgin, a 10th up from his previous best, locks up into Bruxelles. That won't do his chances of improving his position any good. Keeps within track limits. Will he keep it in the track limits through Pouon? He can. Gary Elgin determined to improve from before. He crashed out in the last race in Bahrain. Looking to get his first points of the season this time around. And there's another car going slowly up ahead of him. It's the Alfa Romeo. Hopefully it won't impede him. Just about gets out of the way. And Gary Elgin's exceeded the track limits, so no improvement from him. Don't Dupe With Me. Going for one last attempt. It's gone purple in Sector 1. Andriopoulos is not going to improve his time, so the highest he can start is 5th. Gravity is another one of those yet to set a time. He's on a fast lap of his own. Nexus Cats is also out on the circuit, and Don't Dupe With Me has exceeded track limits again, so he will start from the back of the grid. And Gravity and Alfa Romeo nearly getting in the way there. But Gravity's gone purple in Sector 1, so can he keep the car within the track limits this time? Get his Mercedes up there on the grid. Oh, went too deep into Bruxelles. Go back to his teammate, who's looking to go quicker than before. I think Nexus Cats has got this in the bag, to be honest with you. It's just a matter of how quick can he go. He's on a 42.3. He's a 10th up in Sector 2 from his previous best. There's no more cars up ahead of him, So he's got a clean run to the line. DRS wide open. And Nexus House crosses the line and puts himself even faster than before. It's a 142.197. So that should see him on pole. Gravity 151 puts the other Mercedes onto the front row. Great lap from Gravity 151. So it's an all Mercedes front row at Spa-Francorchamps for the second round of this season's World Championship Racing Series. Forza Ferrari will start in third place, but at least he can start on the mediums. G. Dan is in fourth for Red Bull. It's Bro Coco in fifth. Andriopoulos is in sixth place in the Alfa Romeo. Suspando seventh out of Gary Elgin. Dan 990SD is in ninth place, and Coutinho in 10th. Sean Reynolds and Don't You With Me did not set a time during that 18-minute qualifying session. So what can we expect? Well, we've got three drivers who've set times on the mediums, their best times on the mediums: Forza Ferrari, Suspando and Dan 990. Now it'll be interesting to see if we've got other drivers who may be joining the grid in this one who didn't take part in qualifying. We'll find out very, very shortly. So here we are. Nexus Cats, half a second quicker than Gravity. Forza Ferrari in third, G Dan fourth, it's Brucoco and Andriopoulos. Suspando, Gary Elgin, Dan, Coutinho, Sean Reynolds and Don't You With Me making up the grid. Doesn't look as though any of them have got grid penalties for this one. So we'll go straight down to the start, finish straight, and the drivers will begin their formation lap before the Belgian Grand Prix gets underway. Now the highest of the current drivers competing in this race: Suspando, 10 points off the championship lead. Jensen R12, who is not competing it, neither is second place Syriac. So it is just the 12 drivers we've got for this one. Constructors' Championship sees McLaren on 43 points, Williams in second on 25, and it's Ferrari in third on 14, Mercedes in fourth on 13, and it's Alfa Romeo in fifth on 4, leaving Racing Point, Renault, Red Bull, Haas and AlphaTauri yet to pick up a point so far after just one race. So just waiting for the start of the formation lap. And let's see what drivers are starting on what. So we've got Forza Ferrari, Andriopoulos and Dan starting on the mediums. Sean Reynolds, the only driver, starting on the hards. The rest are all starting on the soft compound. Now there are clouds hanging over the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. We shouldn't really see any rain, so it should be relatively overcast conditions for this one. Nexus Cat's leading his teammate onto the grid. Will the drivers behave well coming into La Source and through Eau Rouge? Often do see accidents in these sim league races. All Nexus Cats needs to do is get off the line well, fend off his teammate, who will have the inside line into turn 1. Forza Ferrari will be looking to keep in touch with the leaders and make best use of the medium compound on the first stint. I am looking forward to this one. Hope you are as well. Nexus Cats will lead the field onto the grid for the start of the second race of the World Championship Racing Series Season 4, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. See the last car taking its place onto the grid. Don't do it with me in the Red Bull. So here we go then. 5 red lights coming on. Lights out and away we go. And it's a good start from Nexus Cats and from Sus Bando, who's got the inside line on the Mercedes of Gravity, but he's got tapped from behind by one of the Ferraris. So Forza Ferrari's gone around the wrong way, and Coutinho has stalled on the grid, and the field seems to have got through the source relatively cleanly, and Coutinho is now disqualified from the session as he's parked in a dangerous location. So that's his race run already. We've got the Mercedes of Nexus Cats and G-Dan in third place. It had a Sus Bando, followed by Andriopoulos. Then it's Sean Reynolds, who's under threat from the Red Bull of Don't Duke With Me. He's on the inside into Lecom, but Don't Duke With Me is going to get ahead of Sean Reynolds, who goes for a spin on the exit of Lecom, and that's him falling down the order there. So that's his race compromised already. But Mercedes are still 1 and 2 on their soft compound. G-Dan making a great start up into third. Sus Bando is also there, and Andriopoulos is in 5th place. Now the clouds seem to be continuing to darken. Could rain be on the way? We'll find out as the race goes on. Now I wonder what happened with Coutinho, because his car stalled on the grid, and because of the nature of the game, he's disqualified as a result of it. So, got change of position. Gary Elgin getting ahead of Don't Duke With Me. And Dan990 has got a time penalty to his name already, which will go to his time at the end of the race. But Nexus Cats continues to lead, and it's Gravity in 2nd place. Then it's G-Dan in 3rd. Then it's Sus Bando behind him in 4th. Andriopoulos in 5th. Gary Elgin is in 6th. Head of Forza Ferrari. Don't Duke With Me is in the pits for a new front wing, as is Dan990 SD. There's no DRS yet. We've got the Williams of Sus Bando trying to make a move on G-Dan for 3rd place. No change of positions there, but I can imagine that Sus Bando will be close to making a move on G-Dan, providing he stays within 1 second of the Red Bull, so they can get DRS. And those have just pitted for new front wings. Don't Duke With Me's out on the hards. Dan99 SD on the soft compound. Gary Elgin's the latest, get a time penalty now. So that will go to his time at the end of the race. The graphic is correctly updated. Now, how long will it be before Gravity gets by his teammate? He's relatively close to him. Now, if these two fight, that's going to bring the likes of G-Dan, Sus Bando and Andriopoulos into the frame. So completing the second lap now. Nexus Cuts with a new fastest lap. G-Dan better in it. And Forza Ferrari posting an even better time on his mediums. Gravity 151 will have DRS. How close will he be to his teammate, who won't be close enough on this occasion? He's not even close to have a go. And Sean Reynolds has now got a time penalty for exceeding track limits. He's already back up to 8th after that spin at Lake on lap 1. He's now got a time penalty to contend with and manage. And that's his Cats in the number 21 Mercedes, leading the number 42 Mercedes of Gravity. Susbando, the latest, get a time penalty now, 3 seconds. I think we're going to see quite a number of penalties in this one. Nexus Cuts continuing to lead the way. There's an incident in Sector 3, not sure what's happened, but it seems to have gone green very, very quickly. I'll have a look further behind because there's a battle going on for 6th position between Gary Elgin and Forza Ferrari, and it's the Williams who gets in front of Gary Elgin. That's a very nice move there from Forza Ferrari, puts his Williams up into 6th position. Gravity needs to get a good exit coming out of Eau Rouge and Radion here. Nexus Cuts goes wide over the curb. Gravity's line was better. DRS wide open. He's not going to be close enough again to have a go on this occasion, I don't think. No, he slots back behind his teammate. Forza Ferrari making a move on Andriopoulos, and that's him up into 5th. So he's had a good lap or so, is Forza Ferrari. Making up for lost time. Next man up the road is Susbando, 3 seconds ahead of him. Now, with the race nearly 4 laps old, I can imagine those on the mediums will be very much coming into their zone. I reckon they'll be quicker at this stage than those who have started on the softs. Seven-tenths of a second, the gap between... And there's a change of position because Forza Ferrari's made a mistake somewhere in Sector 2 and he's lost the position to Andriopoulos, and he loses it again coming out of Stavolo. So Forza Ferrari beginning to go backwards here, and he's got the racing point of going Elgin breathing down his neck. And Andriopoulos has got a time penalty for exceeding track limits now. Gary Elgin determined to get back ahead of Forza Ferrari, not on this occasion. Gravity will be too far back to even get DRS on this occasion, so he stays behind. And there's another battle going on behind between Don't Duke With Me and Bro Coco for 9th. The sun is beginning to break through the clouds, which is good news for the drivers. And there's an incident in Sector 1. It looks like the Alfa Romeo of Sean Reynolds has had another moment somewhere. So it looks as though he's got away with it. And Gravity goes for a spin at Pouon. He's lost ground to his teammate, and he's damaged the left-hand side of his front wing. He'll have to come back into the pits to get it changed. That's really costly for him there. Doing so well to stay in touch with his teammate. And now he's fallen down to 4th place, and with damage to his front wing. And there's another incident. I think G-Dan's gone for a spin. He has. It's kicking off already here at Spa-Francorchamps. Gdan has dropped down to 6th place, just behind Forza Ferrari. I'm not sure if he's had damage to his front wing, but all of this is allowing Nexus Cats to go off into the distance. 6 seconds in front now, 2nd place Sus Bando. Will Gravity come into the pits? No, he decides to stay out. He decides to back out of it because Andriopoulos is coming into the pits. You can imagine to maybe get a new front wing. He's put his limiter on very early there. Yeah, Gdan had a broken front wing, so he'll need to get another set of boots and go again. Forza Ferrari in 3rd place. So at the moment it's Mercedes, Williams, Mercedes, Williams. Mercedes powered cars in the top 4 places. In fact, you could say top 5 because you've got the racing point of Gary Elgin in there. There's a Ferrari determined to get ahead of Gravity, who will be struggling with that damaged front wing from a lap ago. It's just a matter of time before Forza Ferrari does finally get ahead. Gravity struggling to get the car turned in. That's the difference when you have damage to one of the end plates. Can Forza Ferrari get ahead of Gravity coming into the bus stop chicane? And someone else has gone for a spin, one of the Alfa Romeos. It's Sean Reynolds. Yet another spin for him. Drops down to 9th place. And Forza Ferrari does get ahead of Gravity, who comes into the pits. Now what tyres he's going to go on? He's going to go on the medium compound. And Sean Reynolds has spun again. What is it with him so far this season? He had a nightmare in Bahrain, and he just keeps spinning the car around at any corner you can imagine. And Gravity pushing ever so hard. Back out on his medium compound. He's got a lot of ground to make up. And Sean Reynolds does come into the pits. So the drivers who have stopped are those inside the top 4. And Sean Reynolds 90. Out on his new set of boots on the mediums. He's likely to go to the end of the race on those. Nexus Cuts completing the 7th lap of this 22-lap Belgian Grand Prix. You can see the window is now open for those who have started on the softs. We'll be looking to go. And Sean Reynolds has retired now, and that's brought out the safety car. So the field is going to tightly bunch up. I think Nexus Cats has gone past the safety car already. So we'll have a look at what happened to Sean Reynolds. Yeah, he's just crashed out on the Camel Straight. Now this is good news for those who have just stopped, because they will most definitely catch right back up to the leader. And Gary Elgin has just come into the pits. He's got out in front of Andriopoulos. So it's good news for him. He's on the mediums and he can go to the end on those. In fact, that's going to benefit him a lot because he was well behind the top three. In fact, Andriopoulos has got by him. Now, did Gary Elgin get past him after the pit exit line? I'd be interested to find out if he has, because he may have got a penalty as a result of that. The driver's clearly going a bit too quick at the moment. Gdan 990 rejoining behind Bukoko on his hards. I'm a bit surprised he's going out on those, as he hasn't got any mediums left. Now, will Nexus Cats come into the pits on this lap? He will do. Will Susbando do the same, or will he carry on? He'll carry on, and I can imagine Forza Ferrari will choose to do the same. No, he's coming into the pits, so Nexus Cats will rejoin in second place on the road, behind Susbando, who is yet to pit. So the only driver who is yet to pit in this race is your current race leader, Susbando. Forza Ferrari coming into the pits. No need to change his front wing. Out he goes on another set of hard tyres. Can he get out ahead of Andriopoulos? The answer is yes. That's good news for him. Keeping track position. Susbando and Nexus Cats have caught up to the safety car. And a drive-through penalty for Dan. Speeding under the safety car. That's not good news for him. Needless, it has to be said. Schoolboy error, I have to admit. You know the safety car is out. Don't stick to the delta, you're going to get penalised. Now this is interesting because will Susbando decide to pit at the end of his lap? Because not all of the field have caught up yet, but it's just the fact that he's yet to make his only stop at the race. Could he maybe stay out on his mediums and later on switch to the soft compound for the last stint? It is possible. So Susbando continuing to lead the field. Nexus Cats is in second. Then it's Forza Ferrari, Andriopoulos, Gary Elgin, Gravity, and Don't You With Me will shortly catch up to them. Gdan is in 8th place, Prococo in 9th, and Dan in the Ferrari, who's got that drive-through penalty that he needs to take after the safety car comes back in. I don't understand why he needs to be pushing so hard at this stage when the safety car's out. He's going to catch up to the back of the field. So Susbando's deciding to stay out, so clearly he's committed to this strategy. So 2 drivers out of the race so far. Coutinho stalled on the grid before the game disqualifying him as a result of it. Sean Reynolds crashing out at the Camel Straight, hence why we are under safety car conditions. And Susbando coming back into the pits. I think he's going to go onto a set of the mediums. He has. He's got a set of medium tyres ready. So he's obviously done a lap on those hards so that he's able to use at least 2 different compounds throughout the race. And he's at the back of the field anyway, so he may as well take a gamble. Doesn't need to be pushing so hard. Now, will the safety car come in at the end of this lap? Suspando's been on those tyres since the start of the race. Nexus Cats has been on his for over a lap now. So looking at other events that we've got in the World Championship Racing Series, next week's event will be in Baku, Azerbaijan, on the 16th of April, 8 o'clock British summertime. You'll be able to watch it live on the Twitch stream Tom_Cairns22, and it'll be uploaded onto YouTube shortly after the live event, so you can watch back and see how your drivers have done. The safety car's in this lap now. Suspando will back the field up and he will decide when to go. Got 12 laps to go here at Spa. Can Suspando take his tyres as far as he can before he pits for the soft compound? It's going to be a tough ask, but with only 10 cars left in the race, anything is possible from here on in. Then he's going to go clear now. Struggling to get the power down. Uses his ERS to pull away from Nexus Cats. And the restart is on the way here. Gravity already getting by the racing point of Gary Elgin. And we've got the battle for the lead with Nexus Cats, who's going to be right in the slipstream of the Williams of Suspando. Dan in the Ferrari's got by Prococo and up into 9th. So onto the Camel Straight. Nexus Cats. Not sure if he's going to be close enough on this occasion. He goes to the outside into Lacombe, goes right round the outside. Can Suspando get his elbows out? He can. They're still side by side coming out of Lacombe. And Nexus Cats gets through into the lead. That's a fantastic manoeuvre from the Mercedes of Nexus Cats, who gets into the lead. And Forza Ferrari has been let through by Suspando to go after the race leader. So it's bad news for Suspando, who's on old medium tyres in comparison to the rest of the field. But it's most definitely changed the complexion of this race, with Nexus Cats leading and Forza Ferrari in second. You can see there's a battle behind us. Gravity, Gary Elgin and Andreopoulos, I should say, battling over 4th place, and Gravity spins! Gravity spun round in the Mercedes and he's going to fall to the back of the field. That's bad news for him. So whilst one Mercedes is leading, the other is going backwards. So Forza Ferrari in the slipstream. It's a battle behind between Go Elgin and Don't Duke With Me. Now Charlie's gained a position by going off the racetrack there, Don't Duke With Me. He may not have done, he may have had to go wide to get the position. The game doesn't appear to be telling him to give the position back. Go Elgin has got G Dan right on his tail. Dan 990 serving his drive-through penalty. Here's G Dan now side by side with the racing point of Gary Elgin coming through Eau Rouge. Is he close enough to have a go? He's on softs to Gary Elgin, who's on these mediums. He's going to go to the inside into Lacombe, but can't pull alongside enough, and so there's no change of position there. So Dan has exited the pits after his drive-through in 10th place. Gravity after that spin has got himself back up into 8th. And Dan's got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Don't Duke With Me has got the same. Going Elgin, under pressure from the Red Bull. G-Dan goes right round the outside into Lausanne, and he's up into 6th place. That's a great move there from the Red Bull, who has got his teammate next up. Andriopoulos has got the Williams of Suspando ahead of him. It's just a matter of time before he does get past him. He will have DRS, unlike Suspando. He won't have it on the start-finish straight here because the second lap of the restart hasn't been completed until they cross the line, which they do now. So when Andriopoulos comes up to the Kemmel Straight, he will have DRS. He tries to make a dive down the inside into La Source, but Suspando wasn't having any of it. He's able to pull away. Andriopoulos is going to be too far back to have a go on the Kemmel Straight and into Les Combes. At least he can get closer to him. You can see Dan making up for lost time on his mediums, catching Rococo in the McLaren for 9th. Andriopoulos continuing to close in on the Williams, with Suspando is within half a second of him. And the 4 drivers left in the race have not got time penalties to their name. They are Nexus Cats, Forza Ferrari, Gravity and Rococo. Now Rococo has just lost a position to Dan, and it's down to 10th. Dan making a move and up into 9th. He's got 13 seconds to make up on Gravity. So Andriopoulos is going to be in the slipstream of Suspando, who's continuing to lose time on his medium compound. When will he come into the pits? He doesn't come in this lap, and there's an incident in set 2, and it looks though that Dan has had a spin as he comes through Stavolo. So that's him back down to 10th place. And it looks though Andriopoulos has lost a bit of time actually, because Don't Do It With Me's right on his tail. Now Andriopoulos will still get DRS behind Suspando. Oh, they got a horrible drive, and Don't Do It With Me nearly lost it coming out of Radion. That could have been a very nasty shunt there, but he's got away with it. Forza Ferrari in 2nd place behind Nexus Cats. He's within a second of the pole sitter. Now I can imagine that in the final few laps Forza Ferrari will be on better tyres than Nexus Cats. Can you make good use of it though? Dan 990 in the Ferrari. He's got back ahead of Rococo. You can see the battle for 3rd between Suspando and Andriopoulos still carrying on. Andriopoulos needing to get past. He may be able to do it before Blanchimont, and gets run out wide there by Suspando. That was a little bit naughty there from the Williams. Andriopoulos will get into the slipstream coming out of Blanchimont. Into the bus stop chicane they go. Andriopoulos has got the Red Bull behind him to worry about as well, but he's going to pull alongside the Williams of Suspando and goes up into 3rd place as the Williams comes into the pits, and he also has a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. So Suspando's day going from bad to worse at the moment. G-Dan also coming in, presumably for another set of the soft compound. So I think Suspando is going to be dropping down to 7th place. Should get out ahead of Dan and Rococo. In fact, G-Dan's got by him, so G-Dan is up into 7th. Suspando down to 8th. And Don't Do It With Me side by side with the Ferrari of Andriopoulos. The two may contact into Les Combes, but it's the Ferrari who stays ahead. Now both of these drivers do have time penalties. Andriopoulos has got a 3-second time penalty. Don't Duke With Me, he's got 6. Well, make that 9 because he's got another 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Drivers clearly pushing too hard at this stage, and it's going to cost them if they keep carrying on doing that. Now, Don't Duke With Me. Less than a second behind the Ferrari. And someone's crashed out inside. Suspando has crashed into the barrier at Pouron. And that's his race run. Clearly pushed too hard. Smacked the barrier on the outside. And that's his race run. So no points for Suspando, who had a golden opportunity of taking the lead in the driver's standings. Has crashed out at Pouron. And we've got a second safety car. Nexus Cats has gone past the safety car line, so the safety car will have to wait to pick up the leader again. Now, drivers like Gravity is going to be coming into the pits for a set of the medium compound. He's also got front wing damage on his car, so there's another set of mediums and another front wing before he goes. Will G-Dan get ahead of him? I think he will do. We've got 9 cars left in the race. At least Dan and Brokoko can catch right up again. So the safety car's not picked up the leader yet. We're on lap 16. By the time the leader is caught up to the safety car, there'll be 6 laps to go. Now as it stands, Nexus Cats would take the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Forza Ferrari will move up into second position. Jensen R12 will be third. And Syriac will be in fourth. Suspando will be regretting that mistake, pushing too hard on his... Oh, and Nexus Cats has gone past the safety car. Oh, that was very, very close. He just realised the safety car was there in the last minute. He went past it initially, but then slowed down in time to let it go back past him. Now, had he gone so far in front for a certain amount of time, he would have been disqualified. That could have cost him dear. Very, very dear. Goodness gracious me. Don't Duke With Me's made a pit stop. He's gone into the set of the soft tyres, as has Forza Ferrari. So Nexus Cats and Andriopoulos staying out on their old medium and hards. They're going to be under pressure from those behind on the soft compound. Now Gravity 151's behind Gary Elgin. I don't understand why he's trying to pass him. You are under safety car conditions, guys. So don't try anything too clever. I think the safety car will stay out for another lap, which could give those further down the field another opportunity to go on and set up the soft compound if they've got any soft tyres left for the remaining laps of this one. Nexus Cats continuing to lead. Andropoulos in second place on the road behind him. We've got Forza Ferrari, Don't Duke With Me, G-Dan, Gary Elgin, Gravity, Dan 99SD in the Ferrari, who will be catching up to the queue in a moment, as will Rococo. And that's all the runners left. 9 cars still running in this Belgian Grand Prix. The second round of the 4th season in the World Championship Racing Series. This is the second safety car period we've had. The first one came out after around 7 laps when Sean Reynolds binned his Alfa Romeo into the barrier on the Kemmel Straight. Hence why we're under safety car conditions, and Gravity's got ahead of Gary Elgin. Now, I wonder why he was allowed to pass there. I'm not sure what that was all about, but Gravity's got ahead of him now anyway. So the whole field is bunched up behind the safety car. We're on course to get a thrilling finish here at Spa. So the whole field has caught up. Race effectively neutralised. This is going to be very, very hard for Nexus Cats to keep hold of this race win. He's got to have a good few laps of the restart. I hope that others fall over themselves, especially those on the soft compound, those on the fresh soft compound tyres. Now, will the safety car be coming in at the end of this lap? We'll find out when it goes past the second sector time beam. If this race has been as hectic as it has been, imagine what it'd be like in Baku next week. Nexus Cats will so very much want to take advantage of those who are absent for this one, particularly the McLarens of Jensen R12 and Syriac, who dominated the Bahrain event last week. Nexus Cats will be looking to cement his position as the championship leader, and the safety car is going to be coming in at the end of this lap. So Nexus Cats will bunch the field right up. Andriopoulos is not going to be looking forward to the restart, if I'm honest with you, with him on his old hards compared to those on new softs. Nexus Cats will let the safety car pull into the pit lane. Now, when will he decide to go? I think he's going to decide to go. Does he decide to go now? I think he's going to go very early here, actually. And he's not gone yet. He has now, though. So 4 laps to go here at Spa. Nexus Cats leads the way. And we've got the Williams of Forza Ferrari and Don't Do It With Me tossing it out for 3rd position. And it looks like the Ferrari of Andriopoulos is under pressure. You can see the Red Bull going side by side with the Williams and the Ferrari. Will they keep it clean into Eau Rouge? It looks as though they will. Don't Do It With Me on the inside. Can he get into the slipstream of the Ferrari? Remember, there's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. Don't Do It With Me determined to get in front here, but has to contend with 3rd position for now. Nexus Cats still continuing to lead, which is good news for him. Andriopoulos in 2nd position still at the moment, but for how much longer? Don't Do It With Me determined to get ahead of the Ferrari on his first soft compound, but he's made contact with the Williams and spins. Don't Do It With Me made contact with the Williams of Forza Ferrari and he's fallen down the order. G-Dan's moved up to 4th place, but Gravity's alongside him, side by side into Pouon. But G-Dan's got himself up into 4th place. Don't Do It With Me, after that spin and front wing damage, is down to 8th. Gravity looking to get in front of G-Dan. Now, Gravity's been on his mediums for 2 laps so far. Looking to pull alongside the Red Bull. He does so, and he's got ahead of him, but... Oh, ever so just. He caught the grass on the inside, but he made the move work, but he's put all four wheels over the white line. I imagine he got a warning for that. But he's about to overtake the Red Bull now, and he's up into 4th place. Now I want to have a look at the time penalties, because Andriopoulos has got a 3-second time penalty. Now as it stands, that would drop him to 4th position, because Gdan, Go Elgin, and the others further down the order have got time penalties. And Don't Duke With Me is in the pits for a new front wing. So I can imagine he'll go back out on another set of softs and go for the fastest lap now. Andriopoulos under pressure from the Williams. I don't think the Williams driver is going to be in position to have a go into Les Cornes. Don't Duke With Me is in the pits in 9th. So if he does get the fastest lap point, he'll be able to keep it. What's the Ferrari looking to get past the Ferrari ahead of him, Andriopoulos. And all of this is allowing Nexus Cats to pull clear. I just wonder if Forza Ferrari gets ahead of Andriopoulos, that's going to make for an intense last couple of laps, as Gary Elgin's got another 3 seconds added to his time penalty, which takes his total to 6. So Nexus Cats out of DRS range. Andriopoulos looking to keep hold of 2nd. Forza Ferrari is going to have DRS when they get onto the Camel Straight, not on the start finish straight here, because they've only just completed the 2nd lap of the restart. 2 laps to go here at Spa. Can Nexus Cats hold on to the race win on his old set of mediums? Forza Ferrari looking to get a good exit coming out of Radion. Onto the Camel Straight they go with DRS. Can he pull alongside the Ferrari? He can. Is he going to get the move done into Les Cornes? I think he's done it. Yes, he's done it! Forza Ferrari gets himself up into 2nd place ahead of Andriopoulos. And he's only got the Mercedes of Nexus Cats in his way of going for the race victory. Now surely he's going to catch up to him on his freshest set of softs. He doesn't have a time penalty to his name either, so as long as he keeps the car on the track and keeps himself within DRS range, he could all of a sudden get the race win. Now, with Andriopoulos' time penalty, that would move Gravity up into 3rd place. So, I think if you're Gravity with the field behind him, you'll want to get by him very, very soon. We're nearly about to start the final lap here. Gravity looking to get into the slipstream of the Ferrari. Coming through Blanchimont now. Into the slipstream, and there's an incident in Sector 2. It looks like the Red Bull of Don't Duke With Me has gone for a spin. He has. So that's his race all but done, really. And Forza Ferrari sets a new fastest lap, and Don't Duke With Me has retired from the session. I think because he's completed 90% of the race leader's distance, he should be able to keep that 9th place and those 2 championship points. But we are now on the final lap, and Andriopoulos has gone for a spin at turn 1. He has. So Andriopoulos has fallen down to 6th position. We want to go back to the lead here because Forza Ferrari is now within DRS. Nexus Cats needs to go defensive. Forza Ferrari down the inside. And he's through into the lead on the last lap. Would you believe it? Into Les Cornes. Forza Ferrari on his first set of softs has got himself in front of Nexus Cats on the last lap. And surely he cannot lose that victory now. He just needs to keep the car on the racetrack and not get a time penalty. But he's managed to get in front of Andriopoulos and Nexus Cats in the final couple of laps at the same turn. And surely he's going to get the race victory here and potentially move into the lead of the drivers' standings. But it's not over yet because Nexus Cats is still within range of having another go on Forza Ferrari. But what a brilliant move with DRS round down the inside that time into Les Combes. And Forza Ferrari was able to execute it really well and get the job done. It's coming for Blanchimont now. 2 more corners to negotiate. Forza Ferrari is going to cross over the line now to win at Spa. He's done it! Forza Ferrari wins the Belgian Grand Prix ahead of Nexus Cats. 0.8 of a second behind in second place. Gravity will come home in third. G-Dan in fourth for Red Bull. Then it's Gary Elgin in fifth. Andriopoulos with the time penalty will be sixth ahead of Dan 990 SD. He's got that 12-second time penalty. Will he keep that though? I'm sure he will. But what a brilliant victory for Forza Ferrari. 2 brilliant moves in the last couple of laps on Andriopoulos and Nexus Cats to put himself and Williams on the top step of the podium. Brilliant, brilliant end to the race. And he also got the fastest lap, which makes his day even sweeter. I don't know how disappointed Nexus Cats is going to feel. The time of the safety car didn't favour him at all. But a great job from Forza Ferrari, who hung on in there. Was able to pull off a brilliant, brilliant last couple of overtakes to take that race win. A brilliant drive from him. 2 Mercedes drivers on the podium as well. Nexus Cats ahead of Gravity. Sensational end to the race. Forza Ferrari wins by less than a second over Nexus Cats. Then it's Gravity in third. G-Dan in fourth ahead of Gary Elgin. Then it's Andriopoulos. Dan 990 SD in seventh. Rococo in eighth. Don't Do It With Me did end up 2 laps behind in ninth place. Sus Bando did not finish. He wasn't classified, so he doesn't get the point. Sean Reynolds didn't finish. And Coutinho never got off the line. So that result, as far as the Drivers' Championship is concerned, that moves Forza Ferrari onto 36 points. Then it's Nexus Cats in second on 31. Jensen R12 on 25. And Seriak in fourth on 18. So Forza Ferrari, the new championship leader, by 5 points, going into the next round of the championship in Baku, Azerbaijan, in a week's time on the 16th of April, 8 PM British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the World Championship Racing Series returns.